calls for major changes to Calgary's water infrastructure.
It deserves a dedicated management team and the right kind of oversight.
An independent report is released to council and the public.
The good, the bad, the ugly, everything that we know about this problem, we need to share with Calgarians.
A desperate plea from a grieving family.
Her funeral is scheduled for January 17th, and we're desperately hoping that the public will help us find her if they've been discarded somewhere.
A woman's ashes stolen before she's laid to rest. And ringing in 2026 at the Opera.
I want to bring opera to the people, and I know it's tough out there, but in times when they are tough, you need beautiful art.
Continuing a new tradition with an old operetta.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Jordan Canigan.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. The replacement section of Calgary's burst water main is welded in and crews started backfilling around the pipe this evening. But today, the city's overall water infrastructure came under fire. An independent review of Calgary's most serious water infrastructure failure in decades is calling for urgent and far-reaching reforms, warning that the city's water system remains at risk without major changes. Mark Villani reports.
It's a flood of new information and a damning reality following what's being called decades of government negligence.
The current Bearspaw feeder main is in a state of disrepair.
A new report from an independent review panel says these failures are a result of deferred maintenance and weak risk management. This single line carries up to 60% of Calgary's drinking water. It ruptured in the summer of 2024 and exploded again just 1 week ago. The report says inspections were repeatedly delayed and that an almost identical pipe that burst on McKnight Boulevard in 2004 was a warning sign that went ignored.
To repeatedly do that, from one council to the next, to the next, to the next. That's what gets you into this deficit of investment.
We're going to have to work together to be able to proactively maintain it. Preventative maintenance, this is going to be really key. This means proactive shutdowns in the spring and the fall.
The panel is making urgent recommendations, which include stabilizing the Bearspaw South feeder main line and enhancing monitoring to reduce failures, strengthening emergency preparedness and contingency plans, as well as accelerating construction of a steel pipe parallel to the current main line to eliminate a single point of failure.
This right now is poor governance by this council.
The panel also recommends creating a dedicated water utility with a single executive in charge and establishing an independent oversight board, a measure too costly, according to some council members.
So Calgarians on one hand are demanding that we reduce the number of employees that we are hiring, and yet I have an expert panel demanding that we grow the number of employees.
$3 billion in assets, $1 billion a year in revenue. This is not an inconsequential operation. And so it needs to have a dedicated management team.
And while the report doesn't lay blame to one specific government or individual, Calgary's mayor says accountability now falls on this council.
Calgarians are expecting our council administration to solve this problem for good.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
And the city is taking even more action to curb water consumption, and it's impacting rec centers. Steam rooms are closed and wave pool and water slide hours have been adjusted. The Shoaldice Aquatic Center, near where the water main ruptured, remains entirely closed. Well, the man charged by Calgary police in an indecent act investigation is a high-risk offender. 64-year-old Michael Grode, also known as Michael Mann, is charged with 1 count of an indecent act in a public place and 2 counts of indecent exposure to a person under the age of 16. He's accused of exposing himself to a mother and her children in Earlton back on December 4th while he was on a bus and the family was in their car. Grode has a significant history of sexual assault with a weapon, sexual assault, indecent exposure, and indecent phone calls. He's due in court on the latest charges later on this month. Well, the ashes of a beloved mother were stolen from a Chestermere home yesterday morning. Her children are pleading with the robbers and the public to help with their safe return. Jacqueline Wilson reports.
Deanna Thompson's mother, Anna Thompson, passed away in December. A hard enough moment to live through, but now the family is dealing with the overwhelming loss of her ashes.
We're devastated. I don't care about any of the other stuff, of course. We just want our mom back.
The ashes were taken during a break-in at her brother's house on Cove Road in Chestermere Tuesday morning. 2 suspects caught on security cameras can be seen entering Joshua's backyard. It was later found his back door was pried open and the precious ashes were gone.
I can't imagine that they did it on purpose. They probably assumed it was something of value because it was in a red velvet bag with a gold tassel. There's no value to them, but it's priceless to us.
Thompson says the stolen iPad's last location ping was in northeast Calgary on McKnight Boulevard and Aviation Boulevard.
We searched the area. We didn't find anything, but it's a large area and it was dark yesterday. We continue to search today, but it's a bit of a needle in a haystack.
She's asking people in Chestermere and Calgary to check their security cameras and see if the ashes might have been abandoned near them.
Her funeral is scheduled for January 17th, and we're desperately hoping that the public will help us find her if they've been discarded somewhere, or if whoever has them, if they still have them, to turn them in somewhere, anywhere. There's information inside the bag that would identify that it's her.
RCMP confirms it's investigating the incident. Anyone with information is asked to contact them or submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers.
I don't care about anyone being charged or anything. I just want my mom back.
Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Calgary.
And RCMP say they will likely release more details on the case tomorrow. After updating numbers from previous weeks, the province is now reporting 110 Albertans with the flu have died. More than 2,700 people have been hospitalized since the start of flu season in August. The province says getting vaccinated is the best way to protect yourself from influenza. 21% of Calgarians have received the flu shot. And the respiratory virus season is starting to take a toll on hospitals in Alberta. Acute Care Alberta says 5 non-emergency surgeries have been rescheduled across the province due to the current capacity challenges. Officials say this is not unusual for this time of the year and has implemented surge and overcapacity protocols across the province. That includes around 330 beds dedicated to respiratory virus season. Bring in Danielle now with a first look at the weather and the word of the day to describe the weather. Mild.
Mild.
Is that going to continue?
Yeah, for the rest of the work week. And then we're getting into warm. So by the weekend, we're in the double digits. So you'll be enjoying that, I'm sure. But really for tomorrow and for the rest of the work week, key thing to note is that the mornings will still be chilly. So with the wind chill, it will feel more like -15 when off to work and school. Tomorrow, you're looking at a mix of sun and cloud. The winds will pick up out of the west in the afternoon, getting us to at least -1. And again, much warmer temperatures to come later this week. The full forecast is just ahead.
Thank you, Danielle. A new home for the Calgary Flames is coming together with a big construction year ahead. The big dig at the event center took up most of the first year of work, but now the structure itself is the main focus. The steel is going up and Scotia Place is taking shape. Construction on the new event center is about to go into overdrive.
We have poured 1,100 foundation elements. We've created the exterior walls that also form part of that foundation. And now we've been pouring in the last few months, pouring the different concourse levels.
Even from street level, you can tell a lot of progress is being made on this new arena, but it's only when we go way, way up in the air that we can really start to see the scale of this massive project and see the outline of the event center coming together.
I think in a project this size, there are always tight deadlines, but we talk schedule every week, and so there's been no red flags. There's been nothing that is taking us off our target date.
Up to 200 workers are on site every day. Last year saw crews dig the 35-foot deep hole, removing more than 300,000 cubic meters of soil and material. The focus for 2026, finish the steel structure in the roof and close it all up.
So the exterior cladding will follow on the south side, where we can actually start to get more control over our environment, which will be key to our schedule.
Construction will continue through the winter, even in the cold. The event center is still on track to open in the fall of 2027. Now, 2026 will also see interior work start on the 3 restaurants, the food hall, and public gathering areas. Building the event center will take 9,000 metric tons of steel. Well, we now know what caused an explosion at the Tabor Arena last month. An investigation found a problem with the Zamboni set off a chain reaction fireball inside the rink. An electric heater ignited propane that was leaking from the Zamboni. It happened on December 17th, heavily damaging the rink. A dozen people were inside at the time, but luckily no one was hurt. The town says all the maintenance procedures were followed and no one is at fault.
Not something that's seen often, and it's definitely not something that we've heard of from even the manufacturer.
Damage is one thing, that's easy to deal with, but that can be replaced with people or not. So we're very fortunate, very, very thankful, very, very blessed that that's the end result.
All areas of the community center, including those that don't appear to be visibly affected, remain closed. Lab testing for hazardous materials is being done before crews can begin to remove any debris. Well, still ahead, the growing number of citizen-led petitions in Alberta, from recall efforts to independence talks. The push for signatures is heating up.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Are you one of the thousands of Albertans who has signed a citizen-led petition in the last few months? Whether it's an effort to recall an MLA or to weigh in on Alberta's role within Confederation, Albertans are helping shape the political landscape. But it seems to be getting more polarized all the time. Tyson Fedor reports.
About 300 people seeking Alberta independence were in Water Valley Tuesday.
It's a great moment for Alberta that we are now live gathering signatures to rescue Alberta from the clutches of people in Ottawa.
Jeffrey Rath has been leading the Alberta separation charge. He was the first to sign the petition and needs 177,000 others to make it successful and prompt a referendum on the issue.
I was thrilled to do it. It was certainly my honor to do it. Our goal is to get over 13,000 signatures in every constituency association in the province, and our end goal is that we want to have over 1 million signatures.
But last year, more than 456,000 Albertans signed a petition to keep the province within Canada. It comes as 26 provincial politicians are facing recall notices for policy decisions.
This is a really high bar. This is an election-level activity without election-level advertising.
Jenny Yeremy is seeking to recall Education Minister Dimitrios Nicolaides. She's planning a signature blitz next week with only 2 weeks left to collect nearly 10,000 more signatures in order to reach the required 16,000. For Molly Metcalf, her recall campaign started after her MLA voted to use the notwithstanding clause against teacher negotiations last fall and has come with its own challenges.
As soon as I first did it, I actually received a threatening email saying that I would be physically harassed and anyone who helped me would be physically harassed, as well as have our information released.
Metcalf says harassment has been constant during the recall effort. RCMP were notified, but currently no active investigation.
I had a fellow come up and actually take pictures. He put his arm over someone who was signing and took a picture of the information, which is highly illegal.
And political experts believe that disagreements have created a barrier between respectful political dialogue.
It's about attacking people rather than debating ideas, and that's quite unfortunate. There's a real danger of an escalation of polarization, divisions.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
If you're exhausted after all of the economic ups and downs of 2025, good news. Experts predict 2026 should be a bit more stable. Economists believe Canada is ready to weather any international uncertainty. But as Tim Brook explains, that could change in a hurry.
Economic forecasting is a tough industry to be in these days.
Currently, all indications are that 2026 is going to be a stronger year than 2025. But, it's all contingent on U.S. policy changes.
2025 was chaotic economically. That's largely thanks to tariffs and international conflict. But Canada made it out. We avoided a recession and even grew slightly in the latter part of the year. A good sign heading into 2026.
We think inflation is probably going to remain very close to the Bank of Canada's 2% target. And against that backdrop, we think that the bank will be able to maintain its policy rate at 2.25%. The lower rate, of course, does make borrowing more attractive.
New reporting from Deloitte predicts more resilience ahead and a strong second half of the year. But that could still change.
We're seeing energy prices reach levels that we haven't seen since 5 years ago. And that's going to be a potential drag for this province and especially for our government's finances.
Don't expect the brunt of energy policy changes in Venezuela to hit Alberta for a few years. But short-term, low oil prices will lead to a tough provincial budget, which historically hasn't helped consumer confidence.
Groceries are high, rent is high, so it's pretty tough, right, for people.
Advisors do have some advice. As gold prices soar, they say diversification really is the name of the game.
Precious metals are in higher demand for alternative sources of good stores of value. And in certain cases, Bitcoin has been grouped into that bucket as well.
Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
And those in the auto, steel and aluminum sectors will especially be watching closely as new trade deals are agreed on. Together, those industries have paid about 75% of the tariffs the U.S. has collected from Canada. Well, 3 out of 10 offices in downtown Calgary are vacant, according to a report from CBRE. The report says office vacancy downtown rose to 30.4% in the fourth quarter of last year. It also says some of the city's vacant offices were absorbed by conversions to residential properties. Among Canadian cities, the market softened the most in Calgary and Ottawa. There are some bright spots in the Calgary market. Vacancy in the industrial sector is 5%, the lowest it's been since 2023. Well, you heard Danielle talk about it earlier. Mild, and it will warm up. She'll tell you exactly how much in her Skywatch forecast coming up next.
Well, it was another mild day in the city today. We got to a high of 2 degrees. Yesterday was 4. Basically, what you can expect for the rest of the work week is fairly mild temperatures and then a huge bump in temperature by the weekend. Vancouver got to 5 degrees. Victoria got to 7 today. -1 in Regina, +1 in Thunder Bay, -1 in Ottawa, and around that freezing mark as well for Montreal, Fredericton, up to St. John's, even Halifax, close to that mark as well. So it was a pretty mild day overall for many communities across the country. All right, tomorrow we're still looking at windy conditions. This is the story. We have the Chinook winds. That's making things nice and mild for us. 70 km/h gusts possible tomorrow in Crowsnest Pass, Pincher Creek over to the Lethbridge area. So this corridor will be the gustier corridor, of course. Medicine Hat around 50, and then everywhere else you're looking at gusts up to 40 km/h for the day tomorrow, especially in the afternoon hours. Quiet out there right now. You can see some snow moving in through the BC side. We'll get a little bit of that along QE2 and Highway 2, Calgary included, tomorrow evening. So quiet throughout the day. This is a look at tomorrow throughout the day. Just some cloudy periods at times, nothing really to talk about. By 7:30 p.m. though, that's when we get into our chance of some flurries. So really from Innisfail down through Calgary, down Highway 2 into Lethbridge is where we're looking at just getting short little bursts of snow. Nothing significant, shouldn't be anything to shovel, but you will notice that in the evening hours tomorrow in many communities in southern Alberta, especially to the west of Highway 2 and along Highway 2 and QE2. All right, longer range forecast, -1 as our high for tomorrow, but that will feel closer to -6 with the wind chill. So tomorrow won't be quite as warm as today, but still mild for this time of year. Then we get above that freezing mark on Friday, just barely, but we'll get there. And then check out your weekend. By the time we get into Saturday, where you're looking at a high of 10 degrees. And then from Saturday all the way through Wednesday of next week, our daytime high will range from 9 and 10 degrees. So it will be a longer stretch of warm weather.
Thank you, Danielle. Coming up, the effort to continue a New Year's tradition in Calgary. How this group hopes to hit all the right notes and create new opera fans. Well, the Calgary Flames were looking to get their first win of 2026. They headed east for a matchup against the Montreal Canadiens.
On with Sherry. Scores! Joel Farabee
some life in the second.
And Joel Farabee notching his 10th of the season late in the second period. Calgary cutting the lead to 3-1, but that is the closest the Flames would get. The Habs would add another insurance marker in the third period. Now, one other bright spot for the Flames. Forward William Stromgren making his NHL debut in this one. He was roughed up a bit, but finished with just over 8 minutes of ice time. Montreal taking it 4-1. Calgary is in Boston tomorrow. Well, it's difficult to start a holiday tradition, but that's what Alberta Vocal Arts has been trying to do for the last 3 years. It's again hosting a whimsical operetta that premiered in Vienna in 1874 with the hopes of introducing many Calgarians to the genre. Kevin Fleming reports.
It's an operetta that was written by Johann Strauss more than 150 years ago. Now the songs are being sung in German and the dialogue in English. Like all the performers here, Aaron Durand is back for a third year and is used to speaking a variety of languages on stage.
You get German, you get French, you get Italian, especially Italian, you get Czech, I've done Russian, even a little bit of Mandarin.
Jason Cook says the opera community in Canada is relatively small, and performing here is a chance to shine.
It's always this kind of Star Search moment where you hope that someone's going to be in the audience and they're going to come up to you after the show and they say, like, here's my card. You know, that's always the hope and the goal. But ultimately, we want to come here and we just, at the end of the day, we just want to make art. We want to have fun.
Kathleen Morrison heads Alberta Vocal Arts and says Deflator Mouse is a New Year's tradition in parts of Europe. She says opera can be intimidating to the uninitiated, but the cast makes it easy to understand.
We do a pre-show chat beforehand, so we tell you what to listen for. We tell you what's going to happen. We tell you what you're going to see. We're going to tell you what all the players are involved, what they're doing.
Carlos Foggin is the music director and says when this was written, operettas were the Netflix of the time.
My job is to make sure that Strauss doesn't get lost in the conversation, that we still remain faithful to his vision and his score, and that what comes across is still Strauss and not something else.
The production changes slightly every year to keep it fresh for the audience.
Best way to start off a new year, surely. It's so fun. We're able to play off each other in some incredible ways, purely because we know each other so well.
Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
Well, the show runs January 8th to 10th, and ticket prices are just $30. We've posted more information about the production on our website. That does it for our show this evening. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you here tomorrow.